Bonjour, darling. As you can see today, I come back to you with a little live writing. If you don't know what this is, it's a kind of video where we write together and we chat about the craft. We will do 15-minute sprints, and if people are up to it, we will do 30-minute sprints too. So I will do this video in English because I think most of my viewers are English speaking, but if I see in the chat that I have a majority of French speaking people, I will speak a little bit of French too. You may find it weird that I have one sleeve up, but sorry if it bothers you, but I have a nude too, so I need to let my skin breathe, which is why I'm doing that. And maybe I need to introduce myself a little bit. I am Élise Laquésis-Pagès. I am a French author living in Brittany in the northwest of the country, and I write fantasy, urban fantasy, a little bit of horror, and I'm going today to work on my Camp NaNo project, which is to edit the novel Chronicles of a Blue Moon, or in French, Chroniques de la Lune Bleue, which is a fantasy and crystal punk fantasy that I hope to get published soon. And it is the last edits, the line edits, where I'm going to work on the phrasing and the vocabulary choice and the rhythm of the text. So I hope it's going to be fun. And if you watch that later, I hope you like that live. I'm going to do my best to keep it entertaining. So, yeah. I am currently on the 133 133 153 sorry 153 page on manuscript that is 240 pages long. So it's going well at the moment. During my sprints, I usually go for around 5 and 6 pages in half an hour. So I hope to do well during this time with you all. And since there aren't a lot of people on the live yet, I guess we're going to do a little sprint. Start with a little sprint. And I'll come back to you after 15 minutes. So let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Let's sprint. Okay, so, oh, hi, Scribblestad. How are you doing? I hope you're fine. You arrived in the middle of, so I hope you did well. As for me, pages, exactly 6, just like I do all the time. So it didn't change much. I because it's the middle of the book. So I have to work really hard not to make it too boring. And I, okay. And there are a lot of discussions. Sorry for the flies. They are horrible, but when you live in the country, what can you do, especially in the summer? What was I saying? Yeah. There are a lot of discussions, a lot of people that talk. They exchange ideas, and you have to be consistent with the voice of the characters, and you have to make sense. You have to do your best so that everything is logical and that it's not boring for the people that read, that the characters, based on what they know and not on what you know, but on what they know, can get to conclusions and go forward and exchange their opinions and their informations to, like, for example, come up with a plan that makes sense. And it has to be entertaining. So if you are watching that live on replay, please give me your little tips and tricks to keep long conversations entertaining for the reader. In the comments, I will read them all and I will reply to you. As for me, what I do when I'm not live, because when you're live, it's a little bit weird, is that I talk, I speak, I read out loud my dialogue to see if the flow is nice. When you hear something, when you speak to someone, when you speak to yourself, talk to yourself, and you can hear out loud what the character is supposed to say, it helps you a lot to hear if the flow of the conversation is natural and if the word choice is interesting, and if it's not too long, if it can also help you find, for example, little gestures and stances and little things that your characters can do while they talk, to rhythm the text. Like, for example, not just put he said, but he said scratching his head, he said frowning, he said while sitting down or standing up, so that you can see that the reader, not you, the reader can see how the characters move and are not just statues, like talking and saying, oh my god, that happened, oh, is it true, but how is it possible, I don't know, but it did happen, maybe we should do that to counter that thing. And they live, they move. And because when you speak to someone, except maybe during really sad moments or intense moments, but even then, you usually move. You don't just say still, you don't stay still. You have movements. You don't have to put on movements at every line of the text, but a little bit sparsely helps you break down the flow of the chatter and help the text breathe and helps the conversation to make more sense and to feel more natural. So that's my advice. Give me yours, and I will be really interested to read it. Flies, flies, flies. I have spiders in my home. I don't kill them except for the ones that could bite me, but little spiders that just eat flies and moustique. How do you say moustique in English? Okay, I'm going to look for this. So they eat flies and tin, 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 tin. You can see I'm really good at Englishing. I don't know how to say moustique. Mosquitoes. Okay. They eat flies and mosquitoes. So I let them live in my home so the natural selection can occur and the prey will be eaten. But I don't have enough of them. There are still so many flies. It's bothersome. And there is in the middle, since it's the middle of the text, there is a lot of talking because they have clues and they talk about them and they try to find who the big bad guy is in the book. But there is also an action scene, and one of the main characters, Chatty E, does something terrible. It's horrible what she does because the circumstances ask for her to do something horrible. And I have some kind of struggle to find a balance. It's a lot about balancing right now. To find a balance between, the giving reasons to for my character to do something and seeming like I agree with that horrible thing she did, which I don't agree with. I don't agree with this thing, but life happens, people make mistakes, and my characters are not perfect, otherwise they will be boring. So I want people to understand why she did it, because it's important, but I don't want the readers thinking that I agree with it. It all comes down to this. So, like I asked for the advice about how you find balance in your dialogue, if you are watching this on replay, please give me also, if you have them, advice and tips and tricks about how you give these reasons for your characters to do bad things but manage to write it in a way that it doesn't seem like you condone this, you know? I think it all depends on vocabulary. And the words, the exact words you choose to describe what's happening. So I think since there aren't a lot of people still watching live, I think we are going to get back to sprinting. And this time I will not forget the banner. Scribblerstad seems to have left. I hope they are okay. And now okay, share screen. Sorry, it's the first time I'm doing this, so I'm not completely. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and let's sprint. The screen sharing is Only 7 minutes left, people. Three minutes left. Okay, it's done, people. The 15 minutes are up. I hope you did well. As for me, I managed to edit only 3 pages during those 15 minutes. Sadly, as I said in the chat and on vocal, my connection was completely dying because of the shared screen. So since I'm doing my line edits on Google Docs, it was horrible. I couldn't write anything. It was blank page and loading in the nothingness. So not really good. So during the first print, I did 6 pages. During the second one, I did 9 in total in half an hour. It's not bad for a line edit. It's not bad at all because I mostly read, really paying attention to everything I do. It's my process. Tell me how you do your line edits. I read, paying close attention about to every word I used. I try to spot when I use a word too much or a phrase, a sentence when my sentences are too long or too short. I try to, it's just trying to refine the text and make it pretty and ringing well. The flies, they are everywhere. Well, it's one fly, but it's enough to be bothering me. Go away. Why are you attracted to my computer like that? Just live your life. Far from me. Come on. Okay. So Casey Starsaw, I'm sorry if I say that wrong, was able to type 376 words, which is good. 376 words in 15 minutes is really good. What are you writing, Casey? If I can call you that. I want to know. If you weren't there in the beginning, I'm editing some Chroniques de la Lune Bleue, Chronicles of a Blue Moon, which is a crystal punk fantasy. So a fantasy where the technology is used with crystals. And it's a new adult, and I hope to publish it soon. What are you writing? Anyway, congratulations for your 376 words. My Camp NaNo is going well. As I said in the beginning, I'm really going with the flow and editing everything. Camp NaNo is easier for me because I try not to do it like a NaNoWriMo in November. I try to, put my edits and reread and stuff like that during camps, so it's more relaxed. And only in November will I try to write a lot, the 50K or more. Okay, so I can call you Casey, fine. You're working on a children fiction fantasy kind of thing. I don't write for children. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I find writing for children not that easy, at least for me, because you have to be really particular in the words you choose, in the way you write. You can't use all of the vocabulary that you would use for something more YA or New A or for adult, for example, and the themes are very special. You, yeah, it's a delicate thing to write for children. I admire a lot. I admire you for trying writing for children because not easy. And what is happening? Okay, sorry, I had a message on my phone. And writing for children, there, I think people are more judging when you write for children because they have that idea, which is true, but not only for children, that when you write for children, you want to send a message and you want to teach something. And they are really cautious to what they choose for their children because they don't want you to teach them, they wouldn't teach themselves. So it can be, yeah, as I said, complicated. But yeah, tell me if you find it's more or less complicated, and if you have a little synopsis, I would be what's that word again? Sorry, I'm French, so curious about it. And also tell me if you want the next sprint to be 15 or 30 minutes. I plan to do only 15 minutes, but maybe you would be okay with a 30-minute sprint. You're Indian, really? That's nice. We are writing together from different parts of the world. That's the magic of internet. That's really the magic of the internet. That's why 15 minutes is nice. Okay. That's why I love writing sprints on YouTube, because I can write with people from England, from India like you, or from the United States, from South America. But so it's amazing. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so as I said, maybe you weren't there yet. I can't share my screen because my connection doesn't like that. So I will just put the banner for the 15 minutes and I will tell you when it's over and you will hear the little bell song. So I'm going to mute myself and we will start in 3, 2, 1, and let's sprint. 5 minutes left. Time is up, and I hope you did well. I managed to edit 5 pages, so I'm proud of myself. I didn't do too bad. How did you do? How much did you write? How much did you edit? We have a few French people that joined us. Bonjour, j'espère que vous allez bien. Shirt, Christine, Stéphane, a little penguin, un petit manchot. Bonjour Stéphane. Stéphane and Christine are my parents. They came to say hello. Okay. Casey wrote 514 words, 414 mots. That's so good. You did even better than the last time. I am proud of you, Casey. You're doing great. So Shut isn't writing, he's just here to support the live. Thank you. He's congratulating Casey. Yeah, Casey is amazing. Casey is amazing. They are writing gods. You're welcome. We have to support each other. So right now, I think I'm going to edit a little bit faster because I'm editing an action scene, an action sequence. And people are fighting everywhere. There are creatures. I won't tell you what they are because I don't want to spoil you. If you want to read the book later, but there are creatures attacking a place. So there is a little bit of strategy, people using their magic. We learn a little bit more about the magic, actually. And it's the first time we see those creatures in action. And how to say that? Reading it is faster because the sentences are shorter and it's more impactful. So the edit, I think, is going to be a little bit easier because I don't have to think about flourishing the text. I just have to make it efficient. So to me, it's an easier part. When I draft, action scenes are complicated because I try to focus on what the characters are feeling. But when I edit, I tend to go faster on action scenes and to be a little bit more easygoing with myself. But when I draft, it's easier for me to do the more emotional sequences, and editing them is more complicated because I find them often too cheesy and stuff, and I question myself. So I hope I'm being clear. So Shirt is a good penguin, and they know what are the creatures because they are my beta reader. So yes, they are privileged. Casey, in what part of the draft are you? Hello, Dana. Hope you're doing well. Right now, we are just a little bit chatting. We are going to do a 15-minute sprint soon. It's the morning for you. For me, it's the afternoon because I'm in France. So it's 5 p.m. right now for me. As I said to Casey, who is from India, YouTube is amazing for that. You meet a lot of different people from all parts of the world. So it's great. The middle part of the project. So do you have, it's something that I suffer from, that thing where the beginning you can manage, the end is okay, but the middle of the project is just one big pile of wibbly wobbly things that you can't go through. Oh, that's great. So watching the live made Shotmeister want to keep writing. That's amazing. That's amazing. I hope you can write something you like, that you can keep going on your project, and that you're not disappointed. Dana is fine. Well, I am well too, because my Camp NaNo is going great. As I said in the beginning of the live, my camp project is to edit my novel, because I hope to publish it, to send it to publishers in the autumn, during the fall. So I'm working on that, and I think I'm doing great. So yeah. Me too. I love having friends from all over the world, says Dana. Me too. So Casey says they have dragged that part for 2 whole months, the middle. Recently, they have outlined all the chapters and hope it won't be a problem anymore. Yeah. I have that problems in that I'm a planter, a mix between pantser and planner. So sometimes that's why I struggle with the middle, because since I don't have, I can't outline too much, I just lose myself in the text. But if you manage to outline, it should help you if that's how you work, how you function. So I hope it will be okay for you. Keep going. You're doing great, actually. So, if it's okay for you, we are going to do. Hello, CG. Hi. I hope you're doing great. We are just going to start a 15-minute sprint. So everybody be prepared for 15 minutes of writing. As I said to Casey earlier, my connection doesn't like the screen sharing, but I will put a banner to tell you that how long the stream is for, and you will hear the little dinging sound, when it's over. So let's put the banner, 15-minute sprints, and we will start writing in 3, 2, 1. Let's write. Only 3 minutes left, people. And time is up. How did you do? I'm almost finished with my chapter. As I said, I'm in a bit middle of a battle and I'm having a blast. I hope you did too. So I will count how many pages I edited. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pages. Not as much as I thought, but still well. So Casey edited 299 words. Just one word more would have made it a 300. That's so bad, but it's still a good number. You write a lot. That's great. So 299 words, and sounds like you have fun editing. Yes, I do. I love editing. I love editing. I love just embellishing. I think you can say that in English, the words. And I love rediscovering my own story. "185 words for Shirtmeister, and that's good too, especially since you haven't written for a while. Well done. So you wrote more than you did in the last 2 months. Isn't that amazing? You should watch more live write-ins. You should. You really should. It's a good tool to write more. It's a good tool to write more regularly because you are working with other people, you are encouraging each other, and it's just something that helps me a lot. And I think reading that it would help you too. So Schultz is listening to the Deus Ex Mankind Divided OST while writing. It's adapted. Yes, that's one of my regrets hosting the live. It's that I can't listen to music while writing and editing because I would have to, just shut the music up all the time and switch back and forth. That's just one thing I regret. But when I write alone, not during a live, I listen to music a lot. So Casey couldn't read the work without cringing. Sometimes I do cringe. Especially when I reread the first draft. The first draft is always trash. It's always bad. The first draft is a cringe fest. But right now I'm at my 6th or 7th draft, so it's better. Dana, CJ, how well did you do? If you're still here. Maybe they are still writing. You are authorized to write while I talk. After all, we're here to work. So, bye guys. Casey had a lot of fun writing today, and you are welcome for the stream. Thank you for being there. I hope you have a good day or evening, depending. Shirt says bye. And Shirt, right now, I am in the middle of a big battle in an eastern city. And I think you know what I'm talking about. And I'm adding a little bit more details about Alaric. I hope you like that. Say CJ couldn't write. Their mom called to talk about who is taking care of their niece next week. Well, even if you didn't write, you took care of something important, and that's not nothing. Don't worry. You did your call, you had your call, so you didn't do nothing. And so I am on page 171 in a book that has 240 pages. So I think I will finish editing the book before the end of Camp NaNo. If I do that, I will update my goal and start writing, taking my time, start writing about in my second volume of the series. So we'll see. Maybe I will also edit a few short stories that I have for a contest and for Quarantined with Anthology, hosted by Carol Brown. So I have a lot of things to do. And CJ, Dana, if you want to tell, what are you working on for Camp NaNo if you're doing Camp NaNo, or just right now, what are you working on? I'm curious. In a few minutes, I will start the last sprint of the stream. I've been live for almost 2 hours, and I think it's a good length for a live. So if you're wondering why my sleeves are like that, I have a new tattoo, so I need to let my skin breathe. So CJ is doing Camp NaNo, great. They are outlining and editing an old novel they left unfinished years ago. Oh, that's always something. That's always something when you get back to something you have left unfinished a long time ago. Do you have that thing where you are just saying to yourself, what was I thinking? Because since it's a really old project, you have managed to get better at writing and you can see your mistakes more easily. I love doing that because reading old projects help me see how much I've improved. Skeleton Click, of course. 21 Pilots, my favorite band. Yeah. For example, I do that a lot with poetry. Because poetry is such a technical thing that I can see my improvement even better. Okay, so I will wait for your answer, CJ. I will talk about it if you want to answer after our last sprint of the live. It will be 6 p.m. soon here, and I will end the live around 6:15. So Let's do this. Let's put the banner on. And we will start sprinting in 3, 2, 1, right. 5 minutes left, people. Time is up. So, how did you do? I managed to edit 8.5 pages. Like, I did so well on that last sprint. As I said before, action sequences are my favorite thing to edit. So, as for CJ, I asked them if they liked rereading their old projects to see how much they have improved and maybe cringe a bit. And they answered that they do sometimes. This particular project is one they've worked on and off and on for about 30 years, and the first 5 chapters aren't too bad, really. The rest of it is a mess, though, so cringe city. 30 years! Oh dear! That's a lot. That's an old project. I hope you managed to finish it and to polish it. CJ did 220 words. That's great. Congratulations. So I think I'm going to stop here. Maybe tonight I will work a little bit to finish the chapter. Shirt wrote 309 words. They are pretty satisfied because they are characterizing a weird character and they think they are doing well. Congratulations. You both did great. I'm proud of you. So I hope you liked writing with me. It was great. We met different people from all around the world. We wrote. It was great. Shirt rewrote after weeks of not doing anything on their project. And in just a few sprints, they wrote a little bit more than 500 words, which is amazing. CJ worked a bit on their old project, and Casey wrote a little bit about their children fantasy book, which is great. So I think we all did amazing, and I hope we can see each other soon again for a new live. So for the people watching the replay, I hope you did amazing too. I'm proud of you all. And as always, thank you, Shirt. Thank you. As always. Au revoir, darling.